You are watching this video right now for a reason. It's time to change. Not by accident, not by coincidence, not by the algorithm. This video has found you for a reason, and deep down, a part of you knows that. By the end of this video, you will have enough knowledge to go from your current reality, or your CR, to your desired reality, or your DR. Now, before we get here, we have to understand what's holding us back here. So I came up with two main ideas, and the first one is bad dopamine. Now, what does that even mean? What is dopamine? So dopamine is pretty much your brain's motivation chemical. It drives you to do certain things, whether that's bad or good. Now, a lot of our dopamine now, right, in your current reality, which is not your desired reality, is bad dopamine. So you're getting bad dopamine sources. What does this actually mean? So this comes from bad habits like scrolling on TikTok, gooning, watching porn, the drinking, smoking, vaping. All these bad habits, all these drugs, all these addictions stem from bad dopamine. Now, right now, your brain just craves a lot of dopamine, and so it'll drive you to, let's say, scroll on TikTok, even though you know it's not good for you. It'll drive you to scroll on TikTok to get that dopamine spike. So you are in a very bad cycle of your brain gets this flooded with dopamine that motivates you to do bad habits and bad addictions. However, we can flip that so that your brain is motivated to do hard work, purposeful work, maybe reading, the good habits, going to the gym. So all we have to do is flip that. And how do you do that? Well, all you have to do is cut out the bad habits and then enforce the good habits. Now, I'm not here to tell you what your bad habits are. You know what your bad habits are. Remember, I said scrolling, gooning, all that, right? All these addictions. So what you're gonna do right now, get a pen, get a piece of paper. You should already have this because you should be taking notes on this video, but write down all your bad habits. You can pause the video, then unpause it when you have all your bad habits written down. So now that you have all of your bad habits written down, we are going to scribble them all out. Scribble, 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 because we are getting rid of them. Now, this doesn't take discipline. This doesn't take any willpower. This is easy, and you have to tell yourself it's easy. Tell yourself it's easy right now. Say, it is easy. That's the first step. Now, we are going to scribble out the bad habits, and then now we're going to write down a list of good habits. Now, as I speak throughout the video, we're going to write down the good habits, and I'll say the good habits. I want to segment it throughout this video. However, we need to get into the second thing that is keeping you stuck in your current reality, and that is ignorance to the 3 levels of existence. You're like, what is this guy talking about? This guy's crazy. So pretty much, there are 3 levels to existence. That's what you need to know. Write that down. Now, what are the 3 levels of existence? Well, there is the first one, mental plane, the spiritual plane, and then the physical plane. Now, the problem here is that many people, you probably rely too much on one plane, and that is the physical plane, which is a huge problem because the physical plane is the least important. The physical plane is reality, and reality is illusion. Reality is a reflection of yourself. Write that down. Now, what do I even mean by this? I'll get into everything. So first we have to segment it one by one, okay? First, I want to talk about the physical plane, because the physical plane is what you have, I guess, the most experience in. And even though it's the least important, it's still important because you need alignment across all 3 planes. So the physical plane, what our ego lives in and what we can see, is visible light. Now, visible light only makes up of 0.0035% of all light on the light spectrum. So you are letting 0.0035% of light that you could see control you. So there is, 99% of something else out there. And we are blind to it because we can only see visible light. Now, that is why reality is an illusion. Your brain is guessing based off electrical signals that your eyes send it, right? So I see this pen, right? And I can only associate it with the pen because my eyes see it, and my brain's like, okay, the electrical signals get sent to my brain, and it's like, okay, this is a pen. Now, I could explain it in a better way on how everything is made up of illusions, and it's all visible light is an illusion, and reality is an illusion. Now, why? I'm sure you guys have heard of the blue and black dress or the white and gold dress. Online, there was a picture of a dress, and people either saw blue and black or white and gold. Now, that is pretty much your brain getting sent electrical signals, and then either, depending on your lens on reality, everyone has their own lens, it's your world, it's your reality, it's universe, not spelled UNI, but spelled YOUNI, universe. Then the lens on reality will either let them see blue and black or white and gold. So it's all an illusion, it just depends on what you see. So essentially, that's why the physical plane is the least important. So, but your ego thinks is the most important. Your body thinks it's the most important because that's all you really know. So when I get into the other two planes, which are very much more important, I'll get into that. The most important thing about the physical plane before I get into the other planes is that it is the realm of effect. Now, what does that mean? It is the realm of effect. Write that down. Now, what is the cause, right? There's always a cause and effect relationship. The cause is your mind. Before something is put into reality, it has to be thought of first. Before someone has created this pen, it was thought of first. Your mind is the cause, reality is an effect. So a lot of the time, when you take action to try to better yourself and try to enter your desired reality, let's say you want money, right? Let's say you want money. So you would take action to get money. And so maybe you would change some of your lifestyle. Maybe you would try to change your business model. Maybe you try to change your business strategy. However, that is changing reality. That is changing on the physical realm. So that is changing an effect to change an effect. Stay with me. Why? If you were to change your business model, that is an effect, because reality is an effect, because the physical realm is an effect. So you cannot change an effect with an effect. So you're taking action wrong. You're taking action completely wrong. You need to take action mentally, because mentally is the cause. You need to change the cause. Now, I'll get into that later when we talk about the mental plane. However, first, physical plane has, I guess you could say, the good habits, right? So this is where the blank space should be with the habits, okay? Now, how are you going to enforce, you're going to enforce these good habits instead of the bad ones. So, what are the good habits? A lot of good habits revolve around the physical plane, in my opinion. Which there are also good habits for mental and spiritual, but a lot on the physical plane. So, good habits, right, relates to good dopamine sources, right? The good dopamine sources pretty much is delayed gratification. So, bad dopamine sources is instant gratification. So now we're back talking about dopamine, right? And the physical realm, okay? So that instant gratification is like scroll after scroll after scroll. You're doing nothing, but you're getting gratification. Your brain is getting rewarded for doing nothing. So, or even when you're gooning, when you're watching porn, your brain is getting rewarded for doing nothing. It's instant gratification. Delayed gratification is like when you go to the gym. When you go to the gym and do one bicep curl, you're not just going to grow massive biceps. It's going to take hundreds of bicep curls to grow massive biceps. And when you read a book, you're not just going to gain all the knowledge of a book in one single word. You're going to have to finish the book to gain all the knowledge of the book. So those are two habits right there, which I will get into actually physical health. That's a whole other topic of itself. But actually, yeah, I'll get into it now. So going to the gym, right? Physical health, extremely important. Now, physical health is more important than people may think, because the physical health actually directly relates to your mental health. Mental health is extremely important, right? I'll get into that later, again, when I talk about the mental plane. So physically, right, physical realm, it is extremely important to stay in shape, get into shape, work out. Doesn't necessarily mean go to the gym. Maybe you can take a walk, right? Another good habit, take a walk, maybe exercise, take a run, and eat healthy. These are all extremely important because, first of all, it's just self-image. You get more confidence when you look good. You will feel 10 times better. When you eat healthy, right, you'll feel amazing. You'll get good habits, right? Going to the gym, running. I mean, that's really it about physical health. You know that physical health is good. You just have to start doing it. And when you see the benefits yourself, you won't stop. You have to mentally switch into kind of like a healthy person, right? And I actually want to get into this as well. So let me go back to how you have to mentally switch, right, to be a healthy person first, because cause first, then effect. So think back to a New Year's resolution. A lot of people want to get fit and healthy for the New Year's resolution, right? Let's say they're fat, they're unhealthy. So this person right here, fat and unhealthy, wants to get into shape for their New Year's resolution. Now, everyone knows for the first month, they're going to the gym, they're doing cardio, they're eating healthy, they're doing everything they need to do. But what did they not do? They didn't switch mentally. They're trying to change a cause by changing an effect by changing an effect, because they're taking action, but they're taking action wrong. So the first step, if you say want to get fit or anything you desire, is a mental shift. This unfit person can only be fit if they're already fit. Crazy to think about, but it's true. You have to be fit mentally. Even if you're unfit, you have to be fit mentally first, and then the action will be easy. Just like I would consider myself. I'm fit. I'm a fit person. Mentally, I'm fit, and I find it fun going to the gym. I find it fun eating healthy. I find it fun working out, and that is extremely important, right? So first, when we're talking about the physical realm, you cannot change an effect by changing the effect. You cannot just take action before doing mental work. And I'll teach you how to do that mental work when I talk more about the mental mind realm, mental realm. All right, now I'm pretty sure I covered pretty much everything on the physical realm. Now I want to get into the mental plane. So the mental plane is probably the most important. Also, the spiritual plane they're like the same, right? They're the same in level of importance. However, mental plane to me is, I think, more important. But besides that, so mental plane, you already know, mental plane is the cause, right? And the physical plane is your effect. You can't change an effect with an effect, right? The actions don't equal results. However, for the mental plane, if you change your mental, then you will start taking the right action and then get the results you want, right? And enter your desired reality. So just like the person over here that was unfit, they had to shift mentally to be fit, and then they had to take the action so that they wouldn't fail their New Year's resolution in like a month, right? So also I want to get into next I want to get into the spiritual plane, then I want to get into frequency, whole other topic of itself that relates to the mental plane, but I'll get into it. And then I want to get into some manifestation killers and how you could just like not get into your desired reality and will hold you back. And then I want to get into my routine. So a step-by-step, just like routine on literally everything you have to do. So I think routine is the easiest to structure because it'll literally tell you what I do step-by-step to achieve all this, and just practical ways on everything you need to do, which we'll get a lot into the good habits as well, the good dopamine habits. But first, mental plane. Now, for the mental plane, what you need to know, again, that it's a cause. You already know that. So really, right, now you don't have to be religious, right? This is also going to get into spiritual a little bit. So spirituality is not religious. Like, I'm not a religious person. However, I do believe in God, right? I believe in a God consciousness, which is higher level of awareness, right? Which is essentially perfect. Now, if you look at Bible scriptures, or even any scriptures, right? You could associate esoteric meaning with them. So when, let's say on the Bible, like God dwells within you, the kingdom of heaven is within, right? That means God is within you, a God consciousness is within. And so you have to seek first within, and then it'll be without, right? So again, with the cause, with the mental shift first, within. So a lot of mental habits come with, I would say, I guess there are two main ones: meditation and visualizations, or I guess walking meditations, which I'll get into. So first, meditation. I do it 20 minutes a day in the morning. All you really have to do is focus on your breath. Meditation has so many benefits you don't even understand. You'll control, you'll feel powerful, right? Because right now your brain is controlling you in a bad way, right? It'll control you bad dopamine, and your ego is controlling you in a bad way because it thinks reality is real. It's not. Reality is not real. It's an illusion. And so this meditation will control you. It'll control your ego. Actually, there are two more I just thought of. But meditation will control your ego so that if, let's say, you get an itch, you're like, no, I'm not itching it. I'm focusing on my breath. I'm not itching it. If you get a thought that pops into your head, nope, I'm focusing on my breath. You are controlling yourself. You are the commander of yourself. And so when you command yourself, you can command reality. Write that down. Now, another habit is silence. I don't know if I really necessarily have like a silent time, but I'm pretty much in silence, I guess, when I journal. But silence is another thing. The ego likes to be heard, right? And so when you sit in silence without anything, right? No stimulation, just maybe a pen and a journal, right? Journaling is very important. I love journaling. It's another good habit, right? You could journal about your day. You could journal about this, that, how to improve yourself, how was your day, stuff like that, and just sit in silence. And you have to command yourself. You say no stimulation, no phone, because it's going to be a trigger, right? When you constantly have your phone in your pocket and you want stimulation, you get a notification from this, you get a notification from that. That's why you should delete all social media, turn off your notifications, silence. Another good habit. Now, another third good habit, I think this is the last one I can think of, is fasting. No, it's not called fasting. What is it? Fasting in the morning, intermittent fasting. I just forgot that word completely, but it's pretty much where you fast in the morning. I found this helpful for so many things, right? I'll get into my routine later, which it helps me with my work. It helps me speak so clearly. Right now I don't even know what time it is. It's 7:18 and I've been up since 4. I don't eat until 10:30, 11 o'clock, which is my lunch, and then I'll eat dinner. So intermittent fasting is pretty much you, again, controlling your ego. Your ego thinks it's hungry. You're like, no, I have discipline. It's not hungry. And you're just going to say, no, it's not. And it's going to be easy. You're just going to control your ego. It's easy. Because also, I want to talk about beliefs. Actually, I'll get into beliefs more. No. I'll get into beliefs now. So you're going to, this sounds hard, right? This sounds hard to you right now. So the only truths in reality, I have it on my wall. This is a good saying. You have to write this down. There's no truths in reality other than what the subconscious mind accepts as true, right? Because if your mind accepts as true, also get into conscious, subconscious mind later. But if your mind accepts as true, right, your mind is the cause, then it will be true in your reality. So if you, right, I don't know, if you think it's going to be hard, right? If you think intermittent fasting, I need to eat breakfast in the morning, it's going to be so hard, I need to eat. No, you don't. You really don't. You don't. It's only true. I need to eat breakfast in the morning, I get a headache. Oh, no. No. Say stop. No. It's only true if you believe it to be true. It's only a truth if you believe it to be true. Write that down. That is extremely important because it doesn't have to be true. It's only true if your mind accepts it as true, because mind is the cause, reality is the effect. So don't accept it as true. If it doesn't help you, it doesn't benefit you, don't accept it to be true. And it's not even hard everything's easy. It's not even hard to abolish a belief, right? You think it's, what the hell do I have to do? I have to meditate for an hour to get rid of this belief? No, you have to say, I don't believe in this. I believe in this. I don't believe it'll be hard. I believe it'll be easy. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, another point I want to cover, which does get within the mental plane, although I said it was going to be another segment, this is going to be another segment. So it's frequency, right? Frequency. I'll get into frequency before I get into the spiritual plane. So frequency is made up of 7 keys, right? 7 keys is belief, emotionally charged thoughts, focus, identity, conviction, emotion/moods, and perception. Boom, 7. Write that down. So I'll go over them one by one, and frequency is probably the most important thing in achieving your desired reality, getting what you want in life, and yeah, it's very important. So before I get into the 7 keys of frequency, first you have to understand that there is an old frequency and there's a new frequency. Now let's go back to the example of this guy, this unfit dude that wants to get fit for his New Year's resolution, and he takes action but he fails. Okay, so he is in the frequency, right? He's in the mental emotional state, which is frequency, that is unfit. So his action does not work. But if he were in the mental emotional state, which is frequency, write that down, of being fit, he will be fit and his action will work. Now, so if I were to say, right, the old frequency, okay, the old frequency is him unfit. And and if he makes the switch to being fit, this guy over here, he'll be fit over here. This is new frequency. Old frequency, new frequency. Okay? When you make the switch to your new frequency, your old frequency, it's gonna play tricks on you. It's an entity, okay? It doesn't want to die, right? It's been with you your whole life. Now, entities don't want to die, just like me and you are entities. We don't want to die. Just like beliefs are entities, they don't want to die. So think of it as an entity. Your frequency, your new frequency, is what's gonna get into your desired reality. It's what is your desired reality, okay? Your old frequency is what's gonna kind of pull you back because it doesn't want to die. So it's gonna pull you back into your old reality, your current reality. So you have to understand the tricks that it'll play to get you back. You have to understand your old frequency. So pretty much, right, we'll get into beliefs first. To understand your old frequency, first you have to understand your new frequency. And so that, again, covers the 7 keys, right? So, beliefs, right? Beliefs first, we already covered that. So you have to always ask yourself, right? You always have to kind of segment between old frequency and new frequency. Would I believe this in my desired reality? Would I believe this in my desired frequency? That's what you have to ask yourself. And if you don't believe it, then switch it. Say, I don't believe it anymore. And just like I said before, there are no truths unless you believe it's true. All you have to do with a belief that you don't want to believe in is say, I don't believe in it anymore. And then believe in the opposite. That's it. It's as easy as that. And if you think it's hard, that's your old frequency playing tricks on you. So that is what you have to kind of think about, right? If it doesn't get you to your desired reality, and it's a trick by your old frequency, essentially, right? Because no beliefs are hard to be changed. That's just the belief itself, an entity that doesn't want to die. That's the old frequency that doesn't want to die. That's really it. Next is emotionally charged thoughts. Now, emotions are the largest shareholder of your frequency. So, emotionally charged thoughts are extremely important. Write it down, by the way. Emotions are the largest shareholder of your frequency. They are the language of God. They're the language of the universe, the language of your subconscious mind. So, emotions, when you kind of have to, emotions aren't something that just happen to you. Right? You can control your emotions. You control your emotions. That's it. If you believe otherwise, that's a belief of the old frequency. It's not what the new frequency believes. So again, things happen, right? Certain things happen, right? Maybe you will. Well, actually, let me get more into emotionally charged thoughts first. I don't want to get into a whole tangent, right? So emotionally charged thoughts, like what would my thoughts be? What would my emotionally charged thoughts be of someone living in this frequency? Would you have an emotionally charged thought, right? Let's say getting fit, right? Getting fit. This old frequency, this guy wants to get fit. This guy's not fit. This is an old frequency. This guy is fit. This is a new frequency. So would emotionally charged thought be, let's say, oh, I look so fat and ugly, right? If you were in your new frequency, your desired reality, no, it wouldn't. But what would an emotionally charged thought be? It would be like, oh, I look amazing. I really see results, I see progress, and you're happy. Emotionally charged thought. So it's pretty much a positive thought. You're positive emotions because you're only going to feel positive emotions in your desired reality. You're not going to feel negative emotions. And negative emotions are like your old frequency. So don't feel negative emotions. And if you do, it happens, right? It happens, okay? Don't shame yourself for it. It happens, right? Just wait, mellow it out, just become more aware when you are experiencing these negative emotions. Be like, okay. And then you're going to think of your desired reality and you're going to be happy again, right? You could imagine your desired reality, and when you imagine your desired reality, happiness, okay? Or you're just going to wait and you're going to okay, I'm experiencing a little bit of a negative emotion. I'm going to control myself. I'm going to meditate on this. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do deep breath, and I'm going to be aware, and I'm going to not let the negative emotion affect me, right? You want to, instead of reacting, you want to respond to reality. Respond instead of react is very important. Write that down. The next part of your frequency is focus. Now, honestly, it's as simple as it sounds. Like, what should you be focusing on? What is this guy focusing on in his new frequency? Focus on that, right? If you're focusing on negative emotions, that's an old frequency thing to do. If you're focusing on how fat and ugly you are, that's an old frequency thing to do, right? So your focus is where energy goes. Focus is where energy flows, right? That's it. Identity, right? Identity is important. Honestly, it's pretty simple, right? What would this guy? Everything is always what would I do in my desired reality? What would this guy's identity be? Would he say, yeah, I'm really fat. I'm really not fit, right? Would he say that as his identity? I'm just an unhealthy fat dude, or would he say, yeah, I'm a fit, awesome guy? And you have to think it to yourself, and you have to say it, right? Because that's really it. I mean, it's identity. You have to align, all alignment, identity. I mean, if I were to ask you, right, do you kiss dudes, right? If I were to ask myself, do I kiss dudes? No, I'm not gay. It's as simple as that. No, I'm not gay. My identity is not gay, so I don't kiss dudes. So if this guy's identity, his new frequency's identity is let's say I'm fit, then he's gonna be like, yeah, obviously I work out. If this guy says, yeah, I'm fat, then he's like, okay, yeah, I don't even work out. I should work out more. I should eat healthy more. That's really it, right? And then conviction. All right, conviction, next key. What is it? The fifth one, right? Number 5, conviction. Okay, so conviction, very, very important. This is actually a really nice topic. So write this down. More important than the knowledge you have is the conviction in the knowledge you have. So if there's someone that doesn't even have the right knowledge, or it could be better, right? But he has utmost conviction in it, that's like utmost confidence, and you know it is true. Then that knowledge will go much further. Whatever it is, that knowledge will go much further. If you say, this workout, right? This guy, he's fit. He's unfit. Or this guy's fit, right? The new frequency, he's fit, okay? And he's like, this workout is the best for biceps. And even though it might not be the best, right? He's still gonna do it, and he's still gonna grow big biceps. And he's gonna have so much conviction in that it's gonna grow him massive biceps because it's the best workout ever, and he has full conviction in it. So again, it's so important that you could read 100 books, but if you read one book 100 times, you're gonna have so much conviction in that knowledge that it's gonna go so much further. Because if you read 100 books, then at some point the knowledge starts to go against each other, right? Because everyone has a different viewpoint, and it's like, okay, pens are awesome. This guy says pens are awesome. This guy says pens are bad. What do I even believe then, right? Then it gets confusing. So stop like consuming so much information. Stop consuming someone's knowledge. Just be confident in the knowledge you have, and you'll know when to do that. Like I can't tell you. It depends what your desired reality is. You'll know it. Okay, you'll know it. Number 6, emotion and moods. Again, emotion is largest shareholder of your frequency. This also ties back to emotionally charged thoughts, because emotions, right? Emotions, you don't want to be. It simply comes down to, you don't want to be feeling negative emotions, which you would feel in your undesired reality or current reality, and you would want to be feeling positive emotions throughout the majority of your day with this guy, with your new frequency, right? Then it goes down to perception. Number 7, perception. Okay, perception is very important. So depending on how you see the world, how the world will come back at you, right? If you see the world, everything is in fear, everything is, oh my God, look at this, look at that, then it's gonna be, you're gonna live in a state of fear, and fear is gonna present itself to you so much more easy, right? If you are, let's say you have a car. Actually, no, I want to give an example first so that everyone knows. So perception, right? There is a crazy idea I learned from this book, right? Where it says if a bomb blew up in your neighborhood, killing hundreds of people, you wouldn't necessarily have to be affected by that, right? You could be grateful by it, you could be happy by it, or you could be, which sounds crazy, right? Or you could be sad, you could be unhappy. But if you're not on the same frequency of those emotions of sad and unhappy, you're not going to feel those emotions. It sounds insane, but right, the more times you're happy, the more happy you are, the universe will give you things to be happy about. That's perception, right? And just like the more angry you are, the universe will give you things to be angry about. And that's just really it. That's all it comes down to. So be happy. Be what this guy would feel. What did this guy perceive things as? Perceive things as this guy would. This new frequency, this desired reality would. That's it. Now we can talk about spirituality, which is actually pretty quick. If I forgot to cover certain things about mental, which I probably didn't, I'll just go into it later in the video. Also, when I talk about my routine, everything will be perfect for you guys, okay? So, spirituality, you can think of it, the spiritual plane is the oven that heats up the cause to effect, right? The cause, which is the mind, into the effect, which is physical, right? So the stronger your connection with God, the stronger connection with yourself, the stronger connection you have with the infinite intelligence, your subconscious mind, is the faster that you're going to materialize things into reality, right? So all that really means is, do you connect with yourself? Do you let go and let God? Let go and let God. It's really that simple, because if the infinite intelligence is going to guide you, when you get your mental right, the infinite intelligence is going to guide you. That's just how it is. And so if you want to be in control of everything in reality and in this, that's just your ego. Let go and let God. That's it. It's as simple as that. Let go and let God. Write that down. One more point about the spiritual plane is that, right, first, again, all three have to be in alignment. So first, like, you're already going to be on the mental plane of, let's say, someone that's fit. But let's say, right, we have this guy. He's unfit again, right? He's unfit. So when he takes action, he takes all the wrong action. But when he's fit, when he's in the mental plane of fit, then he gets intuition. He gets mental nudges to do the right action. And that's God. That's spirituality. That's your connection to God. So you're going to have to trust in those mental nudges, trust in that intuition, play it out, and it's going to happen. That's it, right? Because you have to trust that you're in the right frequency. You have to trust yourself. Trust yourself. Let go. Let God. Now we could put it all together, everything just in like step-by-step, very structured. I'm going to talk about my routine, how it could be your routine as well, right? But everyone structures their routine differently. But just the general basis of my routine, and then make it for your life, okay? Make it for your things, right? Because everyone has their different desires, everyone has their different desired reality. But anyway, we're gonna get into my daily routine, okay? So first thing it starts off with is a metaphysical morning, right? Or manifestation morning, okay? You could call it something stupid like that, right? But I'm just gonna get into it, right? Okay, so first I wake up very early. Now, why do I wake up so early? So, I used to hate getting up early, okay? Like 6:30, I could not get up for the life of me, and I'll just like scroll on my phone to get up, which is horrible, by the way. Horrible habit. Don't even use your phone the first hour of the day, right? This is little things. Write this stuff down. Like little things I remember to tell you guys, so you can write this stuff down. Don't use your phone first hour of the day. Don't check your notifications. Just don't, okay? It screws up your dopamine. It's fucked, okay? Don't do it. So now I wake up about 4 a.m. every day. Now, it's a bit much, I would say. It's a little insane. I really just started liking mornings, okay? You don't understand if you're a morning person or not until you actually start waking up really early and just enjoying the morning. Now, some people really are not morning people, and they work better in the night. Like, again, this is my routine. You customize it how you want, right? But I would suggest waking up early because it's very hard. It's a disciplined activity, right? You're gonna want to go back to sleep. You're gonna say, no, I got enough sleep. I got 8 hours, right? Here's the thing. If you got out of bed late last night, got to bed at 11 or 12, you're not going to wake up at 4, okay? I go to sleep at like 7 or 8, okay? You have to get sufficient sleep. Sleep is extremely important. I would suggest 7 at the minimum. 8 hours, strive for 8 hours every night. That's what I do. Now, I wake up at 4, okay? Wake up at 4, wake up at 5, whatever you want, okay? You're building good habits, okay? So waking up at 4. It's hard to do, so I do it. That's it. What was I going to say? Wake up at 4. Next thing I do with this metaphysical morning, right? So I also get light. So what you want to do is actually learn this from Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist. I would suggest go check out his YouTube and Spotify. He has a podcast, very smart guy. Andrew Huberman, Huber, man. It's really how it sounds, Huberman. And he is a strong advocate for light in the morning, light into your eyes in the morning. Now, since I don't have sunlight, right, at 4 in the morning, it's dark for the next fucking 4 hours. So for about 15, 20 minutes, I will stare at this big old light box. It's like a 10,000 watt light. It'll wake you up. It'll spike your cortisol, which is what you want to do in the morning. You want to spike your cortisol, and I'll get into habits that you could do to spike your cortisol, but that is one of the most important ones. It sets your circadian rhythm so that when like 7 or 8 o'clock rolls around, I actually am tired and I will go to sleep. It's very easy because, yeah, I mean, that's it. Get light into your eyes. It's very helpful. Now, also, when I get this light into my eyes, I am reading I actually read a book every morning. Not a full book, but I actually read like a chapter, right? It's called a book called Outsmarting Reality I'm reading right now. Outsmarting Reality by Nero Knowledge. He also has a YouTube channel. Highly recommend the book. Highly recommend you check him out. I already read the book before. I'm reading it again. It's everything you need to know about manifestation, getting into your desired reality. Everything you know. Go check him out. Better than me. Go, okay? That is a actionable step for you right now. Go check them out. So I read right? I read on my phone, and I surround myself with this knowledge on manifestation and on changing my reality and getting myself into my desired reality. So when you consume information, the first, I guess, hour of the morning, when you consume information, it sticks. Why? So when you first wake up, your brain is emitting alpha and theta waves. Now, when it emits alpha and theta waves, it is very susceptible to remembering information, and it pretty much gives you direct access to your subconscious mind, right? You have two parts of your mind, your subconscious and your conscious. Your subconscious is pretty much the creator of your reality. It is the infinite intelligence. It's God, okay? Your subconscious has a language of emotion, right? It's very emotional. It doesn't reason. It just takes what it could get from either the conscious mind, or it takes what it can get from books, from anything, right, when it has access. And so when you're in that state, it's very susceptible to information, and you will store information in your subconscious. It's great. It's a great thing to do. Surround yourself with the information first thing you wake up. So about 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes I read. That's about it, okay? And then another habit is hydration. So I actually have a hydration electrolytes. I just fill up a water bottle with some electrolytes. That also boosts cortisol. Hydration in the morning is very important. Andrew Huberman also talks about that. Boost cortisol again, like I said, and also you don't drink any water at night. You're very dehydrated at night, so drink water, and specifically electrolytes. If you don't have electrolytes, just drink some water, hydrate yourself. Very good habit to have. Next thing I do, I usually take a shit. I'm not gonna lie, I usually take a shit, but it doesn't have to be a habit for you to take a shit, but that's what I usually do. And then next thing I do is meditate for 20 minutes, about 20 minutes. Usually it's like 10, 20, 30, around there, okay? And plus visualizations. Now, I didn't even get into this, but it's so important. Visualizations are so important. Also, the book talks about it. Outsmarting Reality talks about it. Where, what are visualizations, okay? So, this is what you need to know, okay? This is what you need to know. That your brain, if you deeply visualize something, it cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. So pretty much, if you were to visualize your desired reality, or someone congratulating you on your desired reality, and you were to feel emotions from that visualization, your brain, it's almost like as if you already have it. Now, when you do this, and you experience your desired reality, in your imagination, it's pretty much telling the universe, telling your subconscious mind that you already have it, and you not only will you experience life like you already have it with the emotions and with everything like that, you will attract it towards you. Visualization is very important, so you have to get into a very deep, relaxed state. This could work at any time of day. I just do it in the morning and also at night, but we'll get into that. You have to do it in a very deep, relaxed state, right? So your brain can emit alpha theta waves, which is already even happening in the morning. So you want to stay relaxed. You want to stay in a very relaxed state. So you want to, and I meditate first, so I can get into a relaxed state. I focus on my breath, and so my body will feel heavy. It doesn't really feel like I'm in my body. It feels like I'm kind of dreaming, right? You visualize very intense visualization, and anyone can do this. It's easy. It's simple, right? Don't think it's hard, okay? What are like some, right? Oh, got it. So the technique, right? Technique that you could use, honestly, visualizations, right? Affirmations, or like meditation walks, right? It doesn't matter. All the tools that try to get you to your desired reality it's you. It's powered by you, right? Those are just tools that are powered by you, right? You have to bring the importance to yourself, because it is you. It'll always be you. If you have conviction in the visualization saying it will work, right? This comes back to conviction. Saying that will work, then it will work. It's you. It's always you. But so yeah, this is a proven strategy that actually works. That's very also neuroscience and scientific whatever that is proven to work. So when you visualize, let's say your desired reality, this is a technique, right? So you could visualize, like say, a friend or your parents or a family member, your mom, whatever, and someone congratulating you on achieving your desired reality. Let's say it's money. I'm so happy for you that you got money, and then you hug the other person, or your fist bump. It has to be physical touch. And you deeply imagine that, and you'll see a smile come on your face, and that's it. Really, that's it. And you keep repeating it until you feel like stopping. It's all feel it like until you feel like stopping. That's it. Then yeah, I mean, that's the morning. Actually, one more thing. I do take a cold shower. So for like 2 minutes, right? Just 2 minute cold shower. That kind of wakes me up, gets me ready, just to shower. It is also extremely hard. Another good habit. It'll bring good natural dopamine to you. It's so hard. It's really annoying, but that's what you gotta do. I mean, you gotta do the hard things. 2 minutes every morning. Don't skip it. You could maybe do 30 seconds at first just to build the habit, or it's a nice hard habit. It also has so many other benefits, that scientific benefits, whatever. Scientifical, did I just say that? Scientific benefits. But yeah, I think that's it for my morning. That is actually not it for my morning. I forgot. So after that, right, I like to do deep work, okay? Deep work, right? Right now, this is pretty much my deep work, making this video for you guys, right? So I've been making this video for a while now. I mean, I've been up since 4. It's now like 8 o'clock. So deep work, your deep work session should last like an hour to 90 minutes, hour to hour and a half, right? You don't want to overwork yourself. Hard work does not necessarily equal results. Remember, only if you believe it's true, then hard work will. But if you believe that just not hard work will get you to where you want to be, then it's true, right? That's just the mind. That's like a little tip, right? But most days, since I have school, I'll go to school right after this morning routine. I'll also do work in school, right? Of course. I have study hall first period, so I'll just do whatever I want for like an hour. Also, I was just doing deep work in the morning. It's also a very prime time to do work. You'll be ready, your brain will be fired up. And again, since you're fasting, which I said in the morning, intermittent fasting, right? This is actually something I love to talk about. So it helps me so much with you're gonna feel amazing. Like, there's something about it. When you eat, you're just gonna feel 10 times stupider after you eat. And in the morning, it's just like everything flows. Everything's firing up, and it's easy. It's a flow state, right? It's a flow state. So also an analogy I like to use is, so when your ancestors wake up in the morning, right? Your ancestors, think back to caveman days. Would they eat first and then hunt? No. So they would hunt and then they would eat. So imagine your hunt being this deep work, this morning routine. And so you are, right, and we still have our ancestors' blood, right? We still have the genes of cavemen, right? Now, when I'm just telling you, try it and you'll feel amazing. Okay, also there's, you could have protein in the morning, straight protein. I also have black coffee in the morning. Not necessarily something you need to do, but right, no creamer, no milk, no sugar, just straight black coffee, because we're not going to get any calories in. Now, I know there are some people who just have straight like protein and like water, like a protein shake. I don't do that personally, but I know, I've heard of it. I've heard it could help. And yeah, I think that's pretty much my morning. And so then we're gonna get into the midday. So, I mean, I would just do whatever I want, really. Like, you just gotta do what you feel like doing. Like, sometimes I'll go to the gym, I'll journal, I'll just go for a nice walk, right? Because at about 10:30, 10, 11, I'll have lunch. Actually, it usually is about 11 I'll have lunch. I'll eat lunch, I'll make myself my own lunch, cook. I could play the piano, like I'm learning how to play the piano. I mean, yeah, you just gotta, like, it's not hard work all day, right? That's just not it. I mean, it's not. Like, again, it's very personalized to you. These are just some good habits. Like, why do I play piano, right? Learning a new skill, neuroscientifically, helps your brain a lot, okay? I'm not going to get into it any deeper than that. I'm not a scientist myself. But learning a new skill helps you. And also playing piano is fun. It's also creative. It gets musical creativity out. Something else I loved, I started reading storybooks. Oof, it's amazing. I mean, I had, for some reason, a belief that storybooks were like, oh, it's so unproductive, and I only read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Psychology of Money because they'll help me. But no, It's stupid, right? You have conviction in your information. If I read all these books about money and finance, it won't help me. It'll hurt me, right? And then it's boring. It feels like work all the time. You don't want to work all the time, right? A storybook, don't like, I'm sure school has probably made you not want to read any more storybooks. Right now I'm reading The Maze Runner. Oh, it's on the floor over there. But I just read Harry Potter. I used to thought that Harry Potter was stupid, but I've read it. It was amazing. I mean, once you read read Harry Potter, I'm telling you, I just found like a week ago, right, where storybooks are just amazing. Like, because also when you cut out all these bad dopamine habits, you're gonna start, instead of craving this short form content, you're actually gonna want to crave real stories and real books and maybe documentaries and long form content like this. Get your attention span back by watching this stuff and reading books. Yeah, what else do I do in the afternoon? I mean, yeah, play some sports, go to the gym, of course, physical health, go on a walk, go on a run, play basketball with some friends, hang out with some people. Really, it's up to you, okay? Maybe some people have work, some people have school. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, so the midday is more chill, it's kind of laid back, it's really do what you want. I guess the night routine isn't necessarily more strict, but, you know, it's a routine, right? Humans are routine animals, we live by routine. Before I get into my night routine, if you made it this far into the video, you probably enjoy this kind of content, and maybe you want to change your life, get into your desired reality. Maybe you want to cut out bad habits, cut out addictions, scrolling on TikTok, mindset, all that, addiction, gooning. If you struggle with that at all and you want my personal help, I am actually working up. It's not fully done yet, so if you want early access, probably get the cheapest price. You'll get, you know, definite working with me, right? It's not fully done yet at all. Give it a few weeks, but if you're interested in all working with me for a price, just DM me on TikTok or Instagram. DM me the number 25, just 25. That's my lucky number. It's my favorite number. But yeah, anyway, get into my night routine. Night routine, honestly, I used to have like a strict night routine during the summer because you don't want light, okay? So get off your phone like an hour before you go to bed. Also, it's very important, don't eat like 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. So have dinner like 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, or maybe even 4. All right, you don't want to go to bed on a full stomach. Also, night routine, let's see. I like to go on a walk. I like to get some sunlight in the evening. Right, sunlight is very important into your eyes. Like, I'm gonna go on a walk right after this video. Yeah, I mean, then also I like to read. I like to maybe do some visualizations. Again, you could do it at night. You get into a deep, relaxed state. Maybe you could meditate. Oh yeah, during the summer, since it gets dark at like 8 o'clock, and I would have to be going to bed at since it gets dark at like 8:30, I would have to be going to bed at like 7 or 8. And so I would sit in my closet with my blinds closed and just with like candlelight, and I would journal, right? You could journal at night. And because you don't want bright light, you want blue light from your phone, you don't want that at night. Also, there's a blue light filter, so if you need to use your phone just for like not any big dopamine, maybe just for, I don't know, music purposes, relaxing music if you want, you could use your phone with a blue light filter. Just search it up on YouTube. I don't really care to tell you how to do that. But yeah, then I'd read, then I'd get tired from reading, and yeah, I just go to bed. And so yeah, I go to bed really early so I can wake up really early. Yeah, so that's about it. I just go to bed. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something, and peace.